Carol Denson's poems have appeared in the Adirondack Review, Gulf Coast, J Journal, and Literary Mama, among other journals. Her essay, Transfertle the Plum, on poetry and parenting was published in Rattle's Single Parents issue. Her work has been supported by the Jentel Foundation and the Cultural Arts Council of Houston and Harris County. Her chapbook, Across the Antique Surface, was published in 2013.
Hi everybody, thanks for coming out tonight. Thank you, Lucas, for organizing this, and thanks to Malvern for hosting us. It's so nice to see so many people and so many friends. I'm going to read a few short poems from my chapbook and then a couple of longer ones. Not too long. Passion. I touched the face through the cloth, pressing the ridge above the eye, the wide, high bone underneath a precise jaw. The cloth lifted, pocked cheeks stretched over bones, eyes spoke no words. Whitewashed doors were thoughts and passion, a going by unnoticed, a willed grief. He cut through the air, a rift in the cool dark he owned. On his skin, the world converged. The next one. And the next poem is called Washing the Brushes. I make them fight underwater. In the small arena they scrabble, pulling out hair, bending bristles. Surfacing, they splash and splatter my cheeks and lashes. My mother washed the brushes as her mother did, scrubbing them clean for clean hair. You need two, at least, for one can't clean itself. An only child, almost, I quarreled with myself, so listened carefully to how, in her childhood, she and her sister squabbled quietly, so mother wouldn't come and trim two switches, one for each, and let them let each other have it. This is called Across the Antique Surface. The green lashes radiate out from white near the hinge to each sweeping yellow edge. Opened, the glossy caves appear to listen. I whisper and wait. I would like to swim in the twin lakes they extend as answer, each a clear echo. To fly, lift the shell by one of its halves, past the fragile connection, a clasp's wing flutters. Okay, this one's also about a shell. It's called Shell. If held tightly in one hand, it presses its thin edge into flesh. If balanced on a palm, it rocks across its hinge, flippant. If held by the fingers protruding, it wants to speak, to leap. If held between the palms, it fills the hollow made in prayer. And one more, it's called Scissors. There was a strange pair of scissors that came apart on purpose, I guess so you could wash it in the dishwasher or something? I don't know. Anyway, I thought they were fascinating. I was very lonely at this time of my life when I wrote this. I had a lot of interest in shells and scissors. Okay, anyway, this is the last one from this book. Scissors fall easily apart. The finger holds, estranged eye holds that I can recouple. Not that they crave or don't, their precarious juncture, though Andean bridges sway in their dreams, rapids untangling below. All right, so I picked this poem to read because I wrote it on April 23rd, 18 years ago today. I was 8 months pregnant. My son was actually born on May 23rd of that year. He'll be 18 a month from today. And it also, today's Earth Day, I was out at the festival today. If my voice gives out, it's because I was accosting people and getting them to sign postcards all day. But so it mentions the earth in this poem too, so it's kind of synchronistic. It's my, so it's in honor of my son. In response, April 23rd, Lake Michigan. The red and yellow tulips bend, unwavering in their yearning. Along a stretch of beach, a black dog accompanies me. The wind excites him as he splashes through the surf. I think, stand still, be attentive. Subtle lines of grayish blue, lavender, bluish gray brush across the evening sky. Back inside, I open a window and the door is sucked by a breath. The covers of paperbacks vibrate, the rim of a sack trembles, and the baby in my belly kicks. Child, do you feel the momentous atmosphere? You will leave my body, which will grieve your absence, while my eyes rejoice to see you. I will hold you close to comfort you, soul who has come to share with me a happiness I can scarcely bear to accept. But I do. This promise is true. I will cherish you all the days of my life. I will care for you as wind is steady, as never-endingly as waves. I will yearn for your growing while I mourn each change. As fortuitous as animal company, as subtly as sky, so we will live alongside each other, together and alone. I'd gone outside to be struck by light, but instead it's wind with its undertones of urgency that teaches me how we are both vulnerable and protected, children of our Mother Earth, enveloped in the atmosphere of her dramatic home. And this poem is my last one, and it's for my mother. I wrote about my mother. She's 88. A couple years ago, she fell and broke her pelvis, and she was in a rehab facility, and I had come to get her and wheeled her in the wheelchair out to this little courtyard in the middle, and she fell asleep in her wheelchair, and I wrote this one. So I don't think I'll cry, but I'll try not to. Okay, anyway, it's called The Bone. Under the trellis vined with star jasmine, that pinwheel twirl between a thumb and finger, my mother naps, her head resting on a pink pillow, which is cradled in her arm, resting on the wheelchair cushion. She raises an eyebrow in her sleep, her finger twitches. I wonder if in her dream she also does what now eludes her waking hours, chasing a grandchild through the house, the child screaming with pleasure. Or does she cradle and rock the child as she did mine not so long ago, giving me time to spin out into the world for a while and then back to find her on the porch swing with my little boy in her lap, having fallen peacefully into sleep while waiting for my return? For what is she waiting? For whose return? I am here waiting for her to wake, though glad she's asleep, as one is always glad one's children are asleep. So one can watch for a while silently, alone in what you know you can't hang on to. Not a little boy who is long gone, nor an old woman who is beginning to leave. This time the fall broke her pelvis, the bone that cradled us all.